actually on or not. Oh, there we are. Hi, everyone. I'll give you guys a minute to hop on, but we're back live, Community and Connection. Kelly and Tim Stasinski. Tell me your correct last name.
So close. So close. It's Stasinski.
Oh my gosh, I would have never got that. Stasinski.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Okay, we all know that last week I tried to read it like letter for letter and it did not work out in my favor. So we are going live today, or coming at you live, I guess, from Bridge Coffee. So this camera is reverse and it always confuses me. So we're getting an inside preview of this art at the coffee shop. So you're gonna have, they're open, you're gonna have people walking around and working, which is awesome. But today, hi you guys, who's hopping on? If you can comment. I know some of you like to just peep and not say anything about where you are. There's 6 of you. They'll do this. They'll just sit and watch quietly from the shadows.
I've been known to do that too. Taking it all in.
Yeah, exactly.
It is exciting that we are open. That people can come into the cafe and get a cup of coffee.
Yeah, not just a cup of coffee, the best local cup of coffee.
Thank you.
Just in my honest opinion. And they have avocado toast, which I don't know why it took me so long to figure it out, but I was on a run the other day and I stopped in after and got some, and also showed up the next day to get some because it was so good.
That makes made with the Chico sourdough from Tin Roof Bakery.
And who's your salsa?
We do that ourselves. That's our recipe. Yeah. Yeah, you can actually put in a request. It's on the secret menu. You can let everybody know, but don't tell everybody. It's a secret menu item. If you wanted to get a full 12 ounce of the salsa for a party or something, we definitely can put that together for you.
You're gonna want that. Trust me. Like I'm almost embarrassed to say I pretty much drank the remainder of
Well, it is delicious. Mango in it and all fresh vegetables. It's delicious.
It's the perfect complement to the avocado toast. Okay, so all you sneakers out here not saying who's on, or maybe you are and I can't see, I don't know. Anyways, Tim's gonna chat with us today about what they're doing, not just locally, but would you say globally?
Globally, for sure.
Globally, in different communities, and I just am fascinated by it. So I'm going to kind of turn it over to Tim. Tell me the beginning of your story, I guess, if you will. Is there a beginning?
Yes.
We only have 30 minutes.
All right, 30 minutes trying to talk about my love and passion for coffee. So it only started about 30 years ago.
Oh, so very recent.
Yeah, I'm a paramedic. I'm retired. I mean, get a gray beard, working on an ambulance. But I started working on an ambulance when I was 19 years old, and when I joined the volunteer fire department when I was 18 years old, I remember us gathering around a table and enjoying a cup of coffee and sharing each other's stories and talking about the things that are going on in our lives. We would share, the stories that were going on in the emergency services as well. But that hospitality, that gathering around the cup, I fell in love with that. And then in college, I had an amazing cup of coffee. It was just spectacular. I can still remember to this day the cafe, the line of people that were going up to the bar, the espresso machine, the subway tiles, and they served this little demi-tasse of espresso to me. And this was 1993, and I can remember it like yesterday.
Wow.
It tasted like, it was strong, but it wasn't roasty. It tasted like chocolate and caramel and vanilla. And it had this really nice, bright orange acidity to it. And it just was so complex. I'm like, oh, I got to figure out how to do that. How do I make that cup of coffee? I started roasting coffee at home in '97. burning coffee in my oven and making smoke and a mess, and the alarm's going off. And then I used a wok on the stove, which works really, really good, but that creates a whole lot more smoke. And the wife, she says, no more. But then some things as simple as a air popcorn popper work great to roast coffee in. I started to get this bug, and it was just a hobby. In 2015, people who knew about my hobby were asking if they could buy coffee from me that I didn't even know. And so wife and I had a conversation, said, well, let's do a business around this, and started roasting on a cottage food permit and selling in the Yuba City Farmers Market over on Plymouth Street next to the fountain. And there was a real, like, that same moment for me that I had in '93 when people tasted just how unique and different coffee could be, and I could see the reaction on their face tasting coffee that I roasted, having that kind of reaction. Boy, that is just fuel for my fire. It was wonderful.
Well, I came home. So when did I visit you? Last Friday at your home. Yeah. So he roasts downstairs from their home, and he sent me home with a bag of coffee. And I got home, and my boys, who are 9 and 11, I set it on the counter, and I don't know if they noticed me walk in, but my 11-year-old loves coffee, loves coffee. Mom of the year, he's never going to grow. And he
Not
was
true.
like,
coffee has been proven to extend your life.
see, so it's a good thing. I let him drink it anyways. And he walked by the kitchen and smelt it from the counter as he walked by, and he stopped in his tracks, and he backed up and he grabbed the bag of coffee, and he goes, Mom, we need to make this.
That's fantastic.
So we did. So it's amazing. My 11-year-old agrees as well. So
I would say that most people have never had fresh coffee. Most of the coffee that people have had has been roasted and stored and stale.
Yeah.
And there's just something really unique about coffee that's been roasted within a couple of days' time. All of the aromatics and everything that come out. It's pretty amazing in itself.
Yes, I would have to agree. So the one that you gave me was vertical support?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So tell me, you guys did really well with that blend, right?
We did, yeah. So I've got some vertical support in this latte with a little bit of latte art up on top. I don't know if you can catch that, but
there you go.
I'm a little out of practice. I have great milk and poor pouring technique, and it only came out somewhat beautiful. The vertical support we just had scored by Coffee Review. This is a milestone for Bridge Coffee Company, and something that I had been looking forward to for a long time, to be able to submit coffee for Coffee Review. And just like Wine Spectator, Wine Enthusiast, when they score a wine on a 100-point score, a 88-point wine is a great wine.
Yeah.
A 98-point is like, you've got to sell the farm to get that wine. Well, the same thing in coffee. And our vertical support, which we serve every day at our cafe, scored 90 points.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, 90 points. It's just humbling to me.
Yeah.
Something that I love so much, knowing that we're bringing something so great to the Yuba Sutter community.
I turned 40 in December, and I have never had a cup of coffee or cold brew as delicious as what you guys make here.
Oh,
I mean, when you poured that cold brew for me in your basement, I was like, can I move in and just have cold brew off this?
I live in heaven. I do.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. We'll actually have to do another live and maybe a tour, because there's just some really cool happenings in the basement of their home as far as where the roasters are and what they're doing. It's just phenomenal.
Hi, Janelle.
I know, and oh, yeah, Court, I will bring you some next time I see you. Hi, Janelle, we miss you. So tell us a little bit about, I don't think the general public knows where their coffee comes from, and maybe, like, can you get into that a little bit?
Sure.
I know you can't because you love talking coffee, but
I do, but I think that it may be a little bit taken for granted, but I also think it's super important, and people are passionate about their coffee. So whether you're drinking a Folgers cup of coffee or you're in the Starbucks line, whatever you're going to do that day, it's like you're passionate about, I've got to have my cup of coffee before I go and do something else. And so our mission is connecting communities with great coffee. And we want you to have a great cup of coffee, but we also know that the people in the community are going to do great things. And so we look at, when you take a cup of coffee, you are starting your day to do great things. And so when you start with a great cup of coffee, it just gives you fuel for the great things you're going to do in your day. Whether you're a plumber, you're a doctor, or you're an accountant, or you're a teacher, or you're a firefighter, or the things that you do in your life matter, makes a difference in our community. And you start that with a cup of coffee. So I would say that with your routine and what you've established for your day, make what you put in the cup matter. It's got to taste good. That's no question. But I can say that when you drink a cup of coffee from Birch Coffee Company, I can share with you the difference you're making around the world. The communities, not only are you making an impact here, but you're changing people's lives in El Salvador. You're changing people's lives in Sumatra. You're changing people's lives in Ethiopia. We're helping those communities thrive. Every cup that we sip.
yeah. So tell us a little bit about when you buy, and you've been, right? You've gone, you visited.
Yeah, we were, so to give an example, El Salvador is a place we buy coffee from, a family, the Mena family in Ataco, El Salvador. We were supposed to go last December for my wife and I's 25th anniversary, but because of the pandemic, we weren't able to make that travel. But they shared with us that they are on the border of MS-13 territory, and the drug lords and gangs travel through part of their property, and that the employees, the pickers and staff that they have to be careful about how much they pay them. So if they have a $10 bill in their pocket, they're going to get robbed, and so they will only pay them $2 to $5 or $7, because then it's not worth it to the gangs to rob them. What a crazy life. And so when I am on the phone with Jorge Mena, and he's saying, "Hey, are you ready for a new coffee purchase?" I say, "Absolutely. We're ready for coffee." And he says, "So tell me what's going on." So, well, we're putting shoes on people's feet. We're putting food on people's tables. Yeah, it's amazing.
That is. Don't get me all sappy.
Yeah.
It's amazing that you're creating a tangible difference in the lives of others. And for some people, it's just a cup of coffee, right? You maybe you don't think about where it comes from. I'm totally guilty of getting in a routine and like just heading to Starbucks. But after talking to you, it really made me think about, that it matters where it comes from, and the fact that, you're making a difference in actual families. Like, they're putting shoes on their kids' feet, they're putting food on the table, these things that you're paying them fair trade for coffee, because when we talked, I loved that you said that it's not your baby, it's theirs. Like, they've loved and grown and nurtured, to get it to you, so that you can then in turn get it to us. And I think that's huge.
When I'm roasting a batch of coffee, it's I think about the harvest season and how much nurturing and care that they do for each crop that they are growing, and how long of a process that takes, and all of the hands that have to touch that coffee, all the way through the cargo containers on the big ships that bring it from the foreign countries to the warehousing, and the impact it's making on that whole supply chain. And I've only got it for 15 or so minutes, 12 to 15 minutes, and I better not screw it up. I got to do my job right. I have a responsibility to honor that.
Yeah, that's huge. I'm going to scroll to see if there's comments, maybe. Hi, Irene. Hi, Holly. Bring me back a dark roast, Seth says. I'm sorry, Seth, you didn't get into the office till after 9. No dark roast.
I get that question a lot. What dark roast do you have? And it's not the style. It's not Bridge Coffee Company's style to roast light, medium, or dark. Every coffee has its own unique character. Ethiopian coffees are sweet and berry-like, fruity. Colombian coffees are very citrus-like. The El Salvador coffee tastes like plum, and it's very juicy with a rich tamarind taste to it. And so when I'm roasting the coffee, my goal is to bring out that character and get into the complexity and depth of the coffee. Not because I'm snobby about it, it's because I really am nerdy about just how unique those coffees can be, and want to showcase that. When I think of a dark roast, I think of the balance of a latte, like a latte with milk and chocolate, like a mocha or vanilla latte, and the balance of that cup character. Well, a coffee naturally can have the balance and complexity of that. So that's my job when I roast it.
That's interesting. I hadn't thought about how you can actually play into what the coffee kind of brings to the table. And bring it out.
Oh yeah. So think of a marshmallow. I love using a marshmallow because my when I'm roasting, I'm thinking about how many times I've ruined a batch, and how many marshmallows I've ruined trying to get that perfect s'more. Roasting a marshmallow. Jennifer, she can roast a marshmallow and get a nice skin on it and pull it up, and it's like delicious brown yumminess.
And then you re-roast it again, and then you pull it off.
But if you were to eat that marshmallow and it's chewy on the center, that tastes different than the way I like a marshmallow, where it's really gooey all the way through and slow.
That's the slow roasting.
And it's just such a different marshmallow. In the coffee roasting machine, I can do those same things to the coffee beans and bring out totally different characters. Just from that one bean, I can make taste 10 different ways, 1,000 different ways.
That's fascinating. No wonder you nerd out about it.
Oh, I do. And to me, I know I'll never ever know it all. There's no way I could know it all, and that's just super exciting.
That's kind of like a fire service thing too, right? The day you know it all is the day you should retire. There's nothing left for you there, kind of thing, if you know it all.
Right, and time to pass that information on.
Yeah. So, tell me about community-wise, like what are some things you guys want to share?
Sure. Well, I think that most important that people recognize their own personal value and how important it is that the things that they do in the community make such an impact. People have begun to feel like devalued in what their contribution is to society. And I have to tell you, anybody who's watching, what you do matters every single day. It's so important that you go and do what you do so that we're all together a better community. And so it's important for me that you got to start with a great cup of coffee. That's but I think about whether you're going to propose for marriage, or you're going to close a big business deal, or you're about to go into surgery, the most important things you might do might start with a cup of coffee. So I've got to put a great cup in there, but also celebrate how much of an impact everybody makes in the community. I'm becoming more and more connected to the farming communities around the globe, and so I have started to do some more investment into the local agricultural community, and joining the Farm Bureau, and wanting to glean information of the things that people are doing here and the economics of agricultural. So we talk about fair trade for coffee, but there's still fair trade practices for everything that we do, and whether it's rice farming or walnuts or almonds or prunes or coffee or cocoa. The buying practices and economics, the fuel for the economy and people's livelihoods, I want to make sure that they're also taken care of. And then it's been my heart to want to take care of people. It made it natural working on an ambulance or working emergency services to want to take care of people. And so if there's a need in a community, to me that's like the pager going off. It's like there's an emergency that's happening and I'm ready to respond.
I think that's huge to have that ability to not only see a need, but to want to act on it and want to help and contribute how you can. You know, I talk about this a lot with my kids, and how we make a difference, right? We every day, by getting out there, we can make a difference. If it's, you know, bringing the garbage cans in for your elderly neighbor, if it's something as small as, you know, seeing somebody that looks like they could use a hot cup of coffee, anything, it makes a difference. You know, it's that pebble that ripples across and kind of affects every layer. So I have another question for you, and I forgot what it was now. Let me see if. So Court asked, what's Tim's favorite blend that you roast?
My favorite is Ethiopia. Ethiopian coffees are very, very sweet, and commonly they smell and taste like blueberry or blackberry or raspberry or strawberry. And when you open up a bag of Guji, like what we've got right now, Guji is a region from Ethiopia, you open the bag and it smells like a blueberry muffin. And it's all just from the soil and the varietal of the coffee cherry.
Wow.
That it tastes like that. I did not make it taste that way. I just want to roast it so that natural character can come out.
Wow, that's amazing. So you have to.
It's like dessert.
I'm gonna need to try that. So I just have to read you this comment from Courtney. Just hearing Tim talk, I can feel what a great human he is and how passionate he is about what he's doing. Thanks for sharing it with us. Very cool.
Courtney,
Very cool.
What you're doing is making a difference in people's lives, and so keep it up.
Yeah. She's also an amazing human, if I do say so myself. So Court says she needs a bag of that. Jim King, hi Jim. So you guys have a coffee truck, right?
We do.
You
yes.
do. What do you do with it?
It is available for events, so whether if you happen to love coffee and you're getting married and you want to have coffee service at your wedding, we'll bring it there and we'll have coffee service for your guests. If you've got a special event that's happening and you wanted to have a specialty coffee service for your special event, we've got a school that's rented it for just appreciation for the teachers in the near future. So things along those lines.
So who do we locally reach out to if we want to have more information on booking and otherwise? Do you want me to? Maybe I'll drop your contact info
Sure.
in the bottom of this when we're done.
Well, if I could, the website's got a ton of information, but it's really easy. So bridgecoffeeco.com, and on there is the menu for the cafe. We do have an app, so you can order through an app, or you can order online. And then the phone number to contact us for catering services is right there.
Perfect. And then you guys do a coffee subscription.
We do have
So if you're not local, Courtney Bowser, Janelle, there is a coffee subscription. You want to give a little bit of info about that?
Sure, thank you. The subscription is I almost look at it as an investment into the company.
Yeah.
You're getting the dividends of beautiful coffee that's sent to your house. We'll ship anywhere in the United States. If you live in the Yuba City, Marysville, 10-mile area, we deliver to your doorstep. You mentioned cold brew before. We have a subscription service for the cold brew where you can get a growler delivered to your door, and you'll leave the empty growler and we'll exchange it like a milk mug.
You just made my month, Tim Sasinski, because I can't say your name no matter how many times I try.
And you can choose every week, every other week, every 4 weeks. Most subscriptions are every other week of Roaster Select, where you let yours truly pick the coffee for you, and each month we feature a new special coffee.
Very cool. So I know you have, when we met, you have some vision and ideas for community. Is there any of that you'd like to share?
Sure. We do have hopes of opening more Bridge Coffee Company cafes, but we also want to help the people who have a dream of opening their own coffee shop be successful in their coffee shop. We are partnering with UC Davis. The partnership with UC Davis is only 45 minutes away from here, and they are the premier educator, researcher for the coffee industry. So a lot of the things that we talk about sustainability-wise come from UC Davis, and as kind of the nucleus for that research, and our partnership with them. There's a new coffee institute for a 4-year coffee program that's being built on the campus, and they are naming in Bridge Coffee Company's honor the footbridge that everybody is going to pass, the faculty and student, to enter into the coffee student.
That's so
coffee
cool.
Center. Was that kind of on the community side? I also hope, through hospitality education and the relationships that we develop to help one another understand just how connected we are.
Yeah. And what did you say to me about every good idea starting over?
Yeah. The best ideas start over a great cup of coffee.
That was it. And when I went and met with Tim, it was super fun to just talk about how sitting down and hospitality and having this cup of coffee and getting to enjoy a sense of connection over something. I think it's huge in the first responder world, but it's also huge just everywhere to sit down and just take a minute and have a cup of coffee with somebody and get to connect on a human level. It's huge. And so your take on it is very refreshing. I love what you're doing. I love that, you have a heart for community, and not just locally, but globally. And I think you're making a difference. So thank you
Well, thank
for
you.
that.
Thank you for sharing our story.
Yeah.
For us to have this opportunity to be able to share what we're doing. It is a family-run business. I watched my son in the monitor working his tail off. Our team is also a blessing for us, and I love that all of us want to take care of one another. I think hospitality is vital. It's important that we can come together and share in each other's lives.
Yeah, it's huge. So I want to challenge you guys to shake up your routine a little bit. And if you haven't been over to Bridge, then come on over. Stop in and say hi. I guarantee that they will provide you with one of the best cups of coffee you've ever had. So check them out. You don't have to just do a black cup of coffee. They do all sorts. They can make to your heart's content, and they have amazing food. They've got breakfast burritos. They've got cronuts. I'm not sure if you guys know what those are. They're a croissant and a donut mixed together, and they'll warm them up for you, and they'll blow your mind. So is there anything else that you want to, in closing? I think we're at time.
101 Clark Avenue in Yuba City. Come on down. There is a drive-through that's here. We run it like a car hop, so you don't have to get out of your car. If you're on the go and you're in a hurry, use the app and it'll be ready for you to get to your destination. And everything's made from scratch. So all of our syrups are made from scratch. All of our food's made from scratch. So
that's awesome. So you know what you're getting when you come here. Court says she's looking up real estate in Yuba City right now so that she can get cold brew delivered to her doorstep. Can it travel to Texas? Just a thought, Janelle's asking.
We can send you the coffee to make cold brew, and I'll let you in on the brewing secrets.
Well, I picked one up the other day. What are these? The AeroPress? You can cold brew with those, right?
Yep.
Is it just how you grind, or does
cold brew is brewing without hot water, and so that lends a completely different character to coffee. You can make. I'll start nerding out on coffee. You can make one coffee taste 5 different ways with 5 different brewing methods.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I love it.
Yep. Well, thank you so much for taking the time and sitting down. Thanks, you guys, for hopping on. Next week, we are going to be going live from Wide Awake Geek WAG in Marysville. And we'll be sitting down talking with Chuck and whoever else shows up. I'm never sure. So we'll be going live from there. Andy said Tim, the coffee scientist. That's a pretty good name for you. Any last thoughts before you log off?
I'll take it. No. Thank you all.
All right. Thanks, you guys. Have a great day. Go out and make a difference. Bye.